Hi guys, my name is Sophie Richards. I own Pulse Pilates Berlin. I teach classes online and here in my studio. And today we're going to look at ab prep. Ab prep is one of the easier exercises from Pilates, but it slowly starts to train us to get strong enough to do some of the more dynamic ones as well. Okay, so let's start lying down. And I'm going to take my feet hip distance apart. I'm going to get into neutral spine first, yeah? So my neutral spine, because I've got quite a curve in the lower back, means I can get quite a lot of my hand underneath here. This does depend on the shape of your spine. If you're slightly more flat in the lower back, you're going to have less room, yeah? You ideally want to have your ACEs, these are two bones at the front of the pelvis here, your anterior superior iliac spine. They want to be on the same horizontal level as your pubic bone down at the front there. That's what you're going for. It can take a while to be fully confident that you've got a good neutral, but for today and at the beginning, if you're in what you think is a good neutral spine, but there's tightness in the lower back, feels a bit uncomfortable, then just work it back a little bit, find a position that's comfortable. That's probably more important for now, okay? So let's take the hands onto the floor, okay? And I'm going to show you what ab prep is. So we're going to take an inhale, first of all, to do a head nod. So a head nod is the feeling of lengthening up the back of the neck, as you gently take the focus away and drop the chin. You still want to stay nice and soft at the front of the neck here though. That's how it starts. And then you've set up your cervical spine, your head and your neck. And then you want to lift the head up. And I'm looking straight through my legs here. Yeah, that's going to ensure that I'm not here with my neck. You want to avoid that, yeah. So looking straight down through the legs. I'm going to stay here for an inhale. And then on the exhale, I'm going to come back down. And the whole time, I'm going to try to keep neutral spine. So I'm not going to think of moving my pelvis. Okay, let's do a few more. So it's an inhale, head nod forwards. Exhaling, head and shoulders up. Inhaling, stay. Exhaling, down. Inhaling, head nod forwards. Exhaling, head and shoulders up. Inhaling, stay. Exhaling, down. Inhaling, head nod forwards. Exhaling, head and shoulders up. Inhaling, stay. Exhaling, down. So you can see when I do that, my hand leaves the floor. Why does it leave the floor? It only leaves the floor because my shoulder does as well. And my wrist is going to stay in this alignment with the shoulder. So there's no need for an extra kind of arm movement here. Just going to keep the wrist lined up with the shoulder. So that means, of course, if the shoulder's leaving the floor, the hand will too. Okay. Next thing, you might say, okay, Sophie, what the hell am I doing with my pelvic floor then? All right, well, we're working the pelvic floor and the transverses here, although we're working the transverses a bit more non-dynamically. So when you lift up on the exhale, you want to feel here that you, on that exhale, have fired your pelvic floor. Okay, the advice that I got when I did my training back in the day was to fire your pelvic floor 30%. I'd find that impossible to exactly hit 30% of my full capacity of my pelvic floor, but I'm definitely thinking of lightly firing it. Some days a little bit more, some days a little bit less, okay? So that's what we're going for. An inhale, head nod forwards. Exhale, fire the pelvic floor as you come up. Inhaling, stay. Exhaling down, and one more. Inhaling, head. Exhaling up, inhaling, stay, and exhaling down. Okay, so that's one very simple version of ab prep, yeah? Let's look now at doing the same thing, but we're going to do it in imprint. If you do an ab print in imprint, I find that I get a really good connection in my obliques, and the obliques are muscles that run down the side of the torso here. Got to be a little bit careful though that when you do an ab prep in imprint, that you don't over tilt the pelvis underneath as you come up. It kind of feels like you're doing more, but in fact you're doing less for the designed muscles, yeah? You don't want to kick into the hamstrings or the glutes. And by tilting even further into imprint or tilting the pelvis further underneath when you're in imprint encourages that. We want to avoid that. So let's think about that now. We're going to get into imprint. Let's take an inhale and exhaling into imprint. Okay, so that's a kind of okay imprint that I've hit there. I'm going to make sure when I lift my head and shoulders up, I'm not going to change that. Okay, so I'm going to take an inhale to head nod forwards. On the exhale, I'm keeping my pelvis as it is in this imprinted position. I'm going to stay here for an inhale and exhale back down. Inhaling head, exhaling up, inhaling stay, exhaling down, inhaling nod, exhaling up, inhaling stay, exhaling down, one more, inhaling nod, exhaling up, inhaling stay, exhaling down. Okay, so yeah, when I did that, it definitely felt different to the first version. Of course, if you're watching this tutorial, there's hardly any difference to see, but there's definitely difference to feel, yeah? So what we're going to do now is we're going to take that one step further. We're going to get into imprint again. We're going to do an ab prep, maintaining imprint, and then once we're up there, we're going to reach the arms. We're going to reach the arm right, and then left, and then right, and then left. This gives an even stronger oblique connection. It's a really nice one to do. You can really then feel the obliques working down the sides of the torso. So let's try that, still being mindful that we're not going to over tilt the pelvis underneath as we do it. And we're staying up there. So let's take an inhale and exhale first into imprint. And then we're going to inhale, nod, and exhale. We're staying up, you guys. So let's take an inhale to prepare. And exhaling right reach, inhaling back, exhaling left, inhaling back, exhaling right, inhaling back, exhaling left, inhaling back, exhaling right, inhaling back, exhaling left, inhaling back, two more, exhaling right, inhaling back, exhaling left, inhaling back, and then head back down and into neutral. Okay, so I got an even stronger connection there down through my oblique, which was brilliant. Don't forget, guys, there's also the What the Hell is Imprint tutorial that's also out there on my YouTube channel. Check that out if you've got a bit confused about getting in and out of imprint. Okay. Then the other question is, okay, Sophie, I'm doing this, I'm practicing it, but I can feel it at the back of the neck. Clients do say that, oh, I was doing a class, I could feel it in the back of my neck. That is not okay. We really want to avoid that. You can feel it in the front of the neck. These are your neck flexors. They are going to be working here. But a couple of things you can do to avoid that horrible back in the neck feel, and one of them is where you look when you lift the head up. Yeah. Okay, this is also something I talked about in the What the Hell is Imprint tutorial. But if you're going to lift the head and shoulders up, regardless as if you're in imprint or neutral, that makes no difference. Be really careful from where you look. So if I take an inhale to head nod forwards, and if I've set everything up quite nicely in my cervical spine, I don't want to then ruin it by looking up to the ceiling and then coming forwards. Yeah, you can probably see here that doesn't look so great and it feels horrid. Yeah. So if I've taken the time to set up my cervical spine with my lovely little head nod, I want to make sure that I'm going to look straight through the top of my legs, yeah, as quickly as possible. Staying there and then back down, rather than doing a slow kind of arch up and then forwards. So if the neck has been bothering you, then try that. If it's still problematic, of course, you can take one or two hands behind the head to help you up. If you're going to do that, and I have got one client that does this a lot, if you're going to do that, make sure, guys, as you head nod, that it doesn't become this. Yeah, you don't want to pull the head up here. I encourage people to keep the elbows as wide as possible if they're going to do this. So inhaling head nod, and then exhaling up. Keeping the elbows wide, I've got a little bit of support there. Inhaling, stay. Exhaling down. Inhaling, head nod. Exhaling up. Inhaling, stay. Exhaling down. That's also an option, guys. I'm going to try to keep this as prop-free as possible at the moment. So I'm not going to give any more variations on what to do if the back of the neck hurts. I remember being told that you could use a flexi band behind the back of the head. For me, that one didn't really work, but I want to keep this prop-free. So let's leave it at that. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. There were 3 little versions there. There was the ab prep keep a neutral spine. That was the first one we did. There was the ab prep, so the same pattern, the same blueprint, if you like, in imprint. That got a stronger oblique connection. And then we took that idea one step further and we did little hand reaches, and I could really feel it, actually, especially on my left side. I think that's the weaker side, yeah. So there's those 3 versions. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you liked it, please give it a like, give it a share. This will help me then grow my online community so I can get more tips and info to more of you guys out there. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.